going to tell you about this record, weren't I? Well, I am doing, sort of, so stick with me. It'll all become clear. What were I going to say? There's another looming shape, that were it, as well as Allan, another striky whine. The voice must be a mate of Allan's. They both must be part of Spryte committee that's responsible for me. Or they could be the same person, as t'other one is Ginger as well. Anyway, Allan said that t'other one were his assistant, so they must be two folks after all. He told me that Mick Bucknell is t'other one's name, had a pop group called Infrared. There's Colour Red again. Maybe they will have said, there's Colour Red again. He hung out with Red Devil footballers a lot. A mixed musical group were really famous, Allan said. Satan can sort that out no problem. Chart success, alt rest. Music world is under Big S's thumb. Always has been. Selling souls, devil's music and all that jazz. And Mick once tried to work with reggae producer Lee Scratchberry. He asked Lee to produce one of his records because Jamaican dub music is a threat to dark forces. Capital D and F. Allan told me this as well. There's something about dippy-dubby drops in deep dub mixes. Moments when all instruments drop out into an abyss of silence. With snare shots echoing across the void. These moments suck up evil like a black hole. And dubby bass. Deep diddy dub bass absorbs and slows down evil energy. So Mick wanted to discover the secret at dub, to learn how it conquers darkness. He even started a record label putting out dub records so he could tame and then destroy dub. But Lee suspected something. He wouldn't get involved with mad mawking, masticating Mick to a Mick up to his rigs. He knew, all dub folk know, about Lancashire as art of Babylon. That's how Jamaican dub music found its way back to Lancashire, because music that came out of Caribbean slavery tried to undermine beast from within. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. It makes sense. Dub is apparently righteous music, so dub got into Red County and invaded Fairwaves. A Radio Lancashire programme called Up on Wire started to play dub music. It tried to turn terrible tide, and programme started broadcasting in 1980s from a studio a few miles away from Pendle Hill. It got dub on there. It tried to drown out sprites like me, drowning out diabolical voices at Lancashire Alley, and Lee Berry appeared live on the programme. He stayed in Clitheroe near Pendle Rally there. He supported Bedford, and because of all this, the great sprites panic happened, and all sprites started wasting away. Evil sucked out of them. I needed to take refuge in Thangan trainers. I was losing ability to sprite, but Allan heard a dub threat. He had to stop it, so he went on radio. Sprites do that a lot. It's easy. We're a bit like radio waves. Voices on there, that's all we are. So he went on radio as Allan Beswick. He started a late night phone show on Red Hills Radio, and he was crabbed and croaked. He savagely abused anyone who went onto the programme. Fair were clarty with threats and wild ravings. Sorest madness of world. He spat bilious bloody black bile of Satan out onto theirways, trying to reclaim Lancashire air for darkness. Back of it, barking at sounds of hell themselves. In background as he broke off for ad breaks. And in Revelations 13, all of this is prophesied. A ginger man will blacken and reclaim their over red land with evil words. It says, or words to that general effect. If any man have an ear, let him hear, I say. And in Revelations 13, if you put together the sixth word from the start of the verse, what do you get? Lancashire Radio Wrath.
Line 8 we have. Well, it seems you have the intellect to argue your point. Perhaps it's because you've got a bone brain. How do, Peter? Where is your defence? You haven't one. Goodbye. How do... Who? Go and play on the railway, you godless little prat. How do, Paul?
I was going to tell you about this record, weren't I? I'm coming to that. And anyway, Allan often played a song on his show called Helter Skelter by a pop group from Liverpool as often as he could. A record famous for hidden messages that only Keswick himself could interpret. And he also played that other Lancashire group, Fallen, who were named after Lucifer and his mates who descended from heaven into the abyss. But both these groups were only half dark, so to speak. Fallen were half evil, as a result of the pop's possession of Ted Barnett, Bucknell himself. Nick music comes in America, and he sophisticatedly made Fallen claim to use the real text from Fallen to dark out, until last week, and from then on, all Fallen's records contained a bit of darkness. Their gigs and records were big, bilious, bleeding battles between darkness and light, like Lancashire itself. And some writing on one at Fallen's single covers summed up conflict of forces. It contained this picture of pleading prophecy. I urge finder at this master tape never to unleash it on humanity. Already the evil deity right now is clawing at my brain. If it is unleashed, the fall is here, ectoplasm exercised, and humanity can either eat that grenade or face the second dark age. Meaning next one after the industrial age, I presume, when Satan has his very vicious and victorious victory. The only way out is to blow the head off. I guess that's what it all means. Singer, marquee, the E is the evil bit, obviously. Embodied dark light dichotomy within himself. A useless hex and priest, reliving witch trials, who could practice many half-dark arts. Always looked a bit jeweled. more, Forum once wrote a song in celebration at radio shows of Allan Beswick, and Allan were very taken with this. He told me so. He told me all of this. I'm just repeating what he said, and he said the song were a B-side called Lucifer over Lancashire. Selected out of thousands of sprites for the job. He sent it with assignment and sprite, and I'd been waiting for all these years, even though I didn't want assignments. I just wanted to stop. But I was damned to carry on. I've said this before, and anyhow, he wanted me to go to a press's plant and take a cold possession of a red-coloured vinyl record. He said I would be able to leave my pumps behind and live in disc. It had to be vinyl. I can't possess CDs. Not enough texture on them or something. And outmoded technological forms have more scope for subversion, Allan said. The revolutionary possibilities I've discarded and overlooked, as Harry put it, and I would live in shiny red grooves, if I could call it living, though I had to agree, it would be better than trainers, I couldn't deny that, and it would be a dub record, playing dub folk at their own game, in their own lair. My revolting red ranting record would be broadcast on the punk wire program itself. It would destroy dub from within. It would finally defeat dub challenge to Satan's plan. The great plan cooked up in big black bubbling cauldrons of Satan's own tempting, and old Lucifer will reign over Lancashire once more. His agents, Allan and Nick by his side, ready for the day of victory. And now it's too late for thee, because this is the record. Thou'll be listening to it now. Thou only has to listen. That's all it takes to be damned. I cannot escape now. As damned is thee, well and truly. But I can't keep this up. Thou were damned already, if truth be told. And I don't believe what Allan's told me. There's nothing to do with this record, or me, or Allan, or Satan. It would be better for thee, wouldn't it? If only pointy bearded fork-tailed red blokes, or old crones, or DJs, or ginger singers, if darkness only came from them. It would be so easy. But it isn't. You know that, don't you? I'm sorry about all this. It's where things go. I'm not doing my job, am I? I think I've failed my mission. I'm just glad to get out to those trainers, after all those years, and get onto a record. A big red vinyl spinning record.
With a big red shiny cover.
I bet that would have done just the same as me, if that were in my shoes.
So to speak.
Here's the end of my record. Run-off groove is coming up, where a needle slips across shiny red vinyl and lifts up.
And there's silence. Silence for thee, but not silence for me. If only it was silence for me.
I'm still whining on in grooves, don't forget. Still damned to carry on. Inside these grooves. Inside your head. At least I'm not inside trainers. At least it's not that. But I still have to carry on. That's the thing. Carry on ranting away forever. Think of that. Think of what that word forever means. Allan said it were a very long time.